A 14-year-old boy drinking champagne straight from the bottle in a VIP section while surrounded by adults engaging in explicit activities. That's allegedly what awaited Usher Raymond when his mother handed him over to Sean Diddy Combs' notorious flavor camp in the mid-1990s. According to a health practitioner who's finally ready to break their silence after decades.
Well, I mentioned that earlier, that he said about Stevie J. The Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital.
But that veil of secrecy is beginning to unravel. Ever since these allegations surfaced, the way we view Usher's entire career trajectory has completely transformed. His meteoric rise, his periods of withdrawal from the spotlight, and even his personal relationships now appear in a disturbing new context. When directly questioned about his time under Diddy's mentorship during an Essence magazine interview, Usher ominously stated, "I want to save some ish for my book one day. I'll put it this way, there was a lot of sub." This cryptic response has fueled speculation for years about what traumatic experiences he might be concealing. What's particularly chilling is how this pattern of alleged abuse may have perpetuated itself through the industry for decades, potentially ensnaring other young male artists like Justin Bieber. The music industry's darkest open secret appears to be hiding in plain sight, with visual evidence scattered across interviews, social media clips, and documented interactions that reveal deeply uncomfortable dynamics. The evidence suggesting something inappropriate occurred during Usher's teenage years has been visible for decades, but few connected the dots until recently. Perhaps the most revealing moment came during a recorded interaction where Diddy casually mentioned to Usher, "We used to wake up."
Brother right here from day one, we used to wake up and, damn, pause, but like, check this out. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes, you know what I'm saying, before pause was invented, you know what I'm saying, but it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars.
This wasn't an isolated incident. During another filmed interaction, Diddy made cryptic references to Usher in the kitchen eating all my cereal and made suggestive comments about Usher's attire and performance style that visibly made the R&B star uncomfortable. The power dynamic on display was palpable, with Diddy dominating the conversation while Usher appeared trapped in the interaction. Before entering Diddy's sphere of influence, Usher was just another extraordinarily talented kid trying to navigate the music industry. His mother, desperate to revive his career after his voice changed during puberty and record labels threatened to drop him, made the fateful decision to entrust her son to Diddy's mentorship.
Remember, Usher went to stay with Puffy. Now that was a business decision right there because I didn't know Puffy. I didn't know him.
This confession is particularly haunting in retrospect. A mother acknowledging she handed her teenage son to a virtual stranger. After living with Diddy, according to multiple industry sources, something fundamental changed in Usher. Ed Lover, a respected industry veteran, recalls witnessing a disturbing scene at a nightclub. "I look to my right, and there's a kid standing right there drinking champagne, and I couldn't help but wonder who the hell let their child come into this club, stand in the VIP section, and guzzle champagne out of the bottle." Only later did he realize this child was Usher, allegedly being exposed to adult environments at Diddy's direction. But that's not even the strangest part of this troubling narrative. In 2013, during his 35th birthday celebration with Diddy present in the audience, Usher made a telling public statement about being introduced to everything by Puff Daddy when he was only 15, specifically mentioning parties, women, and everything that came with it. What's particularly revealing is what he added next. "I wouldn't pass on any of the advice Diddy gave me to anybody." This strange disclaimer speaks volumes about the nature of what he experienced. The timeline becomes even more suspicious when you examine Usher's own words in a 2004 Rolling Stone interview, where he described what he witnessed at Diddy's home in graphic detail. "There was always girls around. You'd open a door and see somebody doing it. Several people in a room having an orgy. You never knew what was going to happen." The casual way he described a hypersexualized environment that he was exposed to as a minor raises serious questions about the appropriateness of his living situation during those formative years. Here's where this story takes a truly disturbing turn. According to Diddy's former bodyguard Gene Deal and several other insiders with direct knowledge of the situation, what allegedly happened between Usher and Diddy was so severe that it resulted in a hospital visit. While the exact nature of this medical emergency remains unspecified, the implications are deeply troubling, especially given the subsequent allegations of sexually transmitted infections that have followed both men throughout their careers. The evidence supporting this theory comes from multiple credible directions and spans decades of public statements, behavioral patterns, and insider accounts. First, when Howard Stern directly asked Usher about his time with Diddy, his answer was tellingly evasive, yet suggestive.
It was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand.
The implication that he, as a young teenager, was exposed to sexual situations he couldn't fully comprehend is profoundly disturbing. The pattern becomes even more apparent when examining Usher's behavior as a parent. When directly asked if he would allow his own son to attend Diddy's flavor camp or a similar mentorship arrangement, Usher emphatically declined a powerful statement from someone who experienced it firsthand and presumably knows exactly what such an arrangement might entail. This paternal protectiveness speaks volumes about the nature of what he might have endured. Perhaps most damning is what allegedly appeared in Kim Porter's unfinished manuscript, which mysteriously disappeared after her unexpected death in 2018. According to multiple sources familiar with its contents, the book, written by Diddy's longtime partner and the mother of several of his children, documented in detail how Diddy slept with different men on multiple occasions, and specifically covered how Usher's mom confronted Diddy about allegedly being intimate with Usher and giving him an STD after she found out what was going on. If true, this would represent concrete evidence of sexual abuse of a minor. What happened next has fueled conspiracy theories for years.
Kim know all his deepest secrets. You understand? Kim knew why he was using the butt plug. Man. Kim probably told all that shit in her book. You understand? That up and got missing the day she died.
This is where the story takes an even darker turn beyond Usher's personal experience. The evidence suggests this wasn't an isolated incident, but part of a disturbing pattern that may pervade certain sectors of the music industry. Most troublingly, Usher himself may have perpetuated aspects of this cycle with Justin Bieber, creating a generational chain of inappropriate mentorship. There exists disturbing footage of Diddy promising a teenage Justin Bieber cars and mansions.
Slow down, okay?
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours when you get 16. You good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
Then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay. I get the mansion.
Yeah.
So where are we off to now?
And where would you like to go?
Wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher. I had legal guardianship of Usher.
The ripple effects of Usher's alleged trauma may explain other troubling aspects of his career and personal life. Multiple individuals have claimed Usher gave them herpes, with one unidentified woman alleging that after contracting herpes from him, her twins were stillborn, a devastating medical consequence if true. These accusations reportedly disappeared from public discourse after Usher paid over $1 million to make them go away, suggesting there may have been merit to the claims that required financial resolution rather than legal defense. The industry connections deepen with former Danity Kane member Don Richards' explosive lawsuit against Diddy, which specifically named Usher as a witness to Diddy's alleged physical abuse of his former partner, Cassie Ventura. According to Richards' sworn testimony at a high-profile industry dinner attended by celebrities, including Usher, Neo, and Jimmy Iovine, Mr. Combs hissed at Miss Ventura in a screaming whisper and forcefully punched her in the stomach, causing causing her to double over in visible pain, crying. Yet Usher and the other celebrities allegedly remained silent and continued the dinner as if nothing had happened, potentially revealing how deeply entrenched the code of silence around Diddy's behavior had become. This code of silence explains why, despite years of rumors and allegations, concrete legal consequences have been slow to materialize. The power dynamics at play are extreme. Diddy's influence extends throughout the music industry, with financial and career implications for anyone who might speak against him. For someone like Usher, whose entire career was launched under Diddy's shadow, the stakes of full disclosure are extraordinarily high. The internet has been meticulously connecting these dots for years, examining facial expressions, body language, cryptic statements, and the strange coincidences surrounding those who have attempted to speak out. But now, with a health practitioner allegedly preparing to break their silence about treating Usher after his time with Diddy, we may finally learn the full, unvarnished truth about what occurred during those formative years. The pattern that emerges is disturbingly consistent. Young, talented males placed in hypersexualized environments under the guise of mentorship, followed by behavioral changes, uncomfortable interactions with their mentors years later, and cryptic statements that hint at traumatic experiences without fully disclosing them. Once you recognize this pattern of grooming, possible abuse, and the institutional silence that protects powerful figures, you simply cannot unsee it in countless industry relationships. This raises profound questions about the music industry's structures and safeguards. What other young artists have been subjected to similar flavor camps under the guise of career development? How many others are still suffering in silence, trapped by non-disclosure agreements, financial settlements, or fear of career destruction? And most importantly, is the health practitioner's upcoming testimony just the beginning of a much larger industry reckoning that could implicate dozens of powerful figures? The evidence suggesting something deeply troubling happened to Usher during his time with Diddy has become increasingly difficult to ignore. His discomfort in Diddy's presence, his cryptic statements about that period, the mysterious hospital visit, and the pattern of similar allegations surrounding Diddy's mentorship of other young men all point toward a disturbing conclusion. The question that now hangs in the air is whether Usher will finally break his decades-long silence and release that tell-all book he's been hinting at for years. With Diddy currently facing legal challenges on multiple fronts, the power dynamic that may have kept Usher silent could be shifting. If he does decide to speak his truth, it could trigger an avalanche of similar revelations throughout the entertainment industry, potentially exposing decades of systematic abuse hidden behind the glittering facade of fame and success. For now, the evidence remains circumstantial but compelling, the allegations serious but unproven in court. Yet as more voices join the chorus of accusers, the possibility of finally learning what really happened at Diddy's flavor camp grows stronger by the day. And for the countless young artists entering the industry today, that reckoning cannot come soon enough.